On the show today, we talk about health dreams. Our symbols are the numbers 7 to 10, and as always, we interpret the dreams you sent in during the week. Welcome to So You Think You're Awake, the show about dreams, guidance and healing. I'm Michael Sheridan, and with me in studio today is Heidi Brooke, our resident medium. And I was going to say, Susan is actually meant to be on vacation, but instead she's listening at home, ill.
Oh, no.
Hi, Susan. Get better. And that's not the reason we're talking about health dreams. It's just coincidence. Thanks to everyone who sent dreams to RadioShow at dream-analysis.com. We got lots last week. That's really good. You can always jump the queue and call us on 425-373-5527, and we will analyse your dream or connect with your guides for advice. So 425-373-5527 with a question for Heidi or dreams for me. Heidi, how much longer have you got in your health degree?
I have until the end of December, everything going well.
End of December?
Yes.
I thought it would be before that.
It would have been, but I had a baby in between, so
yeah.
It took a bit of time off. Not a lot, though.
No, it wasn't. Okay, that's a story on its own. We could do a show about that, how insane all that is. Apparently having a child is just like getting the bus to work.
Oh, yeah.
By some officials, the view of some officials in the college. But that's okay. There are people in Washington, in Seattle, actually trying to get laws passed so institutions can't have ridiculous ideas.
Yeah, that advocate for pregnant mothers in college and breastfeeding mothers. North Seattle College is very progressive on it, but and they're going to Olympia to advocate further for the college as well.
Yeah.
So that we have policies. The problem is we have no policies.
And one of the big lacking policies is there isn't a law that states that you can breastfeed your child, for instance. In the college. Because the college is just considered private grounds.
Some of them are. Yeah.
Anyway, madness. Because then if you don't go because you need to feed your child, you get a failing grade.
Things like that. And if there's any complications with the birth of the pregnancy, you're still penalised through financial aid and things like that, where they should have very set policies to say, to allow mothers to go to college, because demographically, there's more women in the college than there is men. So you would think. I
would imagine, especially in health-related fields.
Yes.
Okay, well, we are talking about health today. And the reason I wanted to talk about that is, well, one, Susan isn't around to do Susan's coaching corner. Where are you, Susan? But most people are not interested in health until they are ill. And that's really insane. And at the same time, though, we get lots of dreams that cover health issues that we frequently don't do on the show because people get kind of scared when you do health dreams, if they're their own dreams. So for that reason, I tend to do them offline with the person and not do them on the show. But we're going to do a few on the show today. But they're dreams from people that we have dealt with offline, and you've dealt with some of them too, Heidi.
I find it funny. People are more willing to talk about their mental health publicly than their physical health.
Yeah,
it's like your physical health is a more private issue. People find.
I think.
I wonder what it is.
People just get scared, and it might be this whole fear of talking about death or fear of death that makes people not interested in health. It may be a fear rather than an apathy towards the whole thing. Because once they get ill, people get very serious and. About becoming healthy again and spend a fortune on it. And it's kind of funny, in places like China, you go to your doctor to stay healthy and you pay them while you're healthy. And when you get ill, you stop paying them to give them more incentive to make you well again. At least that's in some parts. And you and I go to a naturopathic doctor who you go to stay healthy.
Yes.
And it's much cheaper to stay healthy than it is to get an illness that a doctor would have seen coming on for years and been able to do something about it to prevent you getting anything serious.
And the funny thing is, so the medical doctors as well, now we have the well visits, they're called, where you go yearly or your annual visit.
Yeah.
And the idea of them is to stay healthy as well. But they really had to fight to allow so that insurance companies would pay for these visits because they didn't want to pay for these visits.
Yeah.
And some insurance companies still don't pay for them, which I find interesting. So the whole idea of staying healthy is still so alien to the medical field. It's treat the illness, or not even treat the illness, treat the symptoms.
Yeah, a good point. It's treat the symptoms. And yet it works for the dental profession. You know, you would expect that you're going to go to the dentist twice a year to get your teeth checked before you need any major surgery or work done on them. Anyway, madness. Anyway, it's madness that people aren't really interested in their health because your dreams are, because your higher self is. You need to be healthy to achieve your life purpose. So you're going to have lots of dreams that are encouraging you to do what it takes to stay healthy. And I'm talking about this for a couple of reasons. I was talking about Dr. Friend yesterday, and he said that in 2016, the statistics are that 1 in every 2 people are now getting cancer. I did not know that. Of course, why would I? But it surprised me. So that's gone up a lot. And this is not a future prediction. This is now, today. He said he is seeing it personally with the patients he sees. So, wow. And
50%. That's 50%. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
And in 1964, prior to becoming a doctor, he worked for a major food corporation. And I'm only not going to name them because I don't want to get him in trouble. But I think almost everybody would have one of their products in their cupboards. But he worked for this major food corporation, and he was tasked with creating a cheese and cracker package that could last 2.5 years in a 38-degree Fahrenheit store fridge without showing decomposition or changing its flavour.
I like the way it said without showing.
Yes, and that was key. He succeeded partly by copying what the same company had done to keep its ice cream products looking fresh. He added formaldehyde.
Tasty.
Deadly. And the resulting product lasts 3 years, and he got paid $62,000 way back in 1964 for doing that work. Now he's a doctor. He told me yesterday that formaldehyde will give you cancer, and that from treating his patients who have cancer, he says the increase in cancers is because of what is now being added to our food. And he always emphasizes the need to eat organic food, especially meat. And there's certain meats he'll say just don't eat because of what they do in the production process. And part of the problem is that part of the process of producing the meat, you can use chemicals that you can then leave in the meat that will act as a preservative that are deadly to humans, like ammonia. And they don't have to label that that's in the food in America because the USDA allows it because it's part of the process. Anyway, another interesting thing, this is why we're talking about health today, is earlier in the week, I read a post on healthycures.org, and it was about how Jamie Oliver proved that McDonald's burgers were unfit for human consumption. He famously coined the phrase the pink slime process, describing how the fatty parts of beef that were previously sold as the cheapest meat for dog food were being washed in ammonium hydroxide and then fed to humans. And Oliver asked, why would any sensible human being put meat filled with ammonia into the mouths of their children? And after a battle over many years, McDonald's has finally announced that it will change its recipe. I don't know if they have, because I was just reading this the other day, but they said they will. But they said it's nothing to do with Jamie Oliver. But what was interesting and what got me thinking really was there was a lot of comments on that where people were saying, oh, I can't believe it, I've been eating that food. And then there were people who were posting saying, I'll eat a hamburger whenever I want. And others posting, oh, you've really saved me from a fate worse than death. You know, good on you doing all this work trying to take down McDonald's. I couldn't believe those posts. I mean, it made absolutely no sense. If you want to eat unhealthily, absolutely, go ahead. Be an idiot. But don't think that we should be hiding from people what's in their food, especially kids. You know, parents do not want to feed their kids unhealthy food. And the big thing that you will always hear is, oh, well, you know when you're going to McDonald's, it's fast food. But you don't expect it to be unhealthy food. Anyway.
Or poisonous, rather.
No. Anyway, so that got me going. And it made me decide, okay, I'm going to pull out some of the dreams that we've done with clients off air. Now, some of these, we have done some dreams on air, but we tend to stay away from the strong ones. But your dreams are going to warn you about illnesses many, many years in advance of you ever getting it. And, you know, I think I might have said it on the show before, there's signs you see around Seattle, they talk about how to spot the signs of stroke, and they use an acronym from the word FAST. And I always think it's crazy that people aren't taught how to spot it from their dreams, because stroke signs are very easy to see in dreams. I know for sure because they're the type of dreams I used to have. But so too are cancers, and they will warn you years and years and years in advance. And dreams will link an event or a series of events or a trauma in childhood quite often to a condition. So that's how far back they will start and say, deal with this issue so that you don't get this condition, rather than wait for the symptoms and then see what you can do about it. Now, your dreams will still help you when you do wait for the condition. And we had one lady who sent us a dream saying, how come I didn't get a dream telling me about the two major illnesses two major operations I needed last year. And so you talked to her offline and I talked to her offline, and she shared dreams that she had gotten 5 years earlier. And
it was evident in her dream.
It was, yeah. It was quite clear in her dreams, very, very specific. So we're doing some of those symbols today. One of them is rats and mice. And rats and mice can symbolize cancer in dreams. They can symbolize other things, but they can symbolize cancer. And there's many other things can symbolize that too. But in her dreams, it was rats. And she had a dream of many, many, many rats, lots of manis, she said, all going between her legs. And that was 5 years before she ended up having a hysterectomy for cancer of the uterus. So it was very clear. The dreams were telling her in advance, this is what you need to deal with. And her earlier dreams told her why. She's one of three children. They're all girls. And her parents were disappointed with her not being a boy.
She was the last.
Yeah. And they were disappointed with her not being a boy. Now, as an adult, you can understand that because most people want a balance. They want a boy and a girl. I mean, you've just recently had a girl after two boys, and you're elated because you now have a girl. And so we can understand that. But as parents, if we were educated and realized how much of an impact that has on your child, you would never have that feeling whatsoever. And the parents can get past this and in some cases can get past this and be happy that the child is healthy. But this dreamer had many dreams where she was inspecting boys' briefs in a bathroom. And that would be a classic symbol saying that your gender was inspected and fault was found with your gender at an early stage of life, so right after birth. And she had many other dreams where she's covering her genitals. She's naked, but always covering her genitals. And so this is an issue for her. And so it shows then, as a child, we blame we can't really see ourselves. So we form an impression of ourselves based on how people react to us. So if our parents react negatively to our gender, it can cause us to react negatively to our gender and find fault with it because our parents found fault with it. And then over years of finding and thinking negatively about our gender, we can develop an issue there, which is exactly what happened for this dreamer and is exactly what her dreams were telling her. Years in advance, telling her in a way before she had any cancer dreams, saying, look, this is an issue you need to deal with. And then becoming, this is now heading towards a serious illness that you will need to deal with. And then becoming an illness that she did deal with.
And was this dreamer ever aware before looking at her dreams that her parents did have an issue with her gender?
Yes.
She was. She was consciously aware of it also. Yeah.
But we don't necessarily know the impact that's going to really have on our health. And that's where, education is the problem. We're not told about this. So she knows it now anyway. And she's somebody actually, she'd been following my dream work for, she said, about 7 years. But she just recently did the course because of her health issues. And this is where we got to the bottom of a lot of these things. So I'm going to have a search for her, some of her dreams, because they've changed. And she cut the ties with her mom recently because that was where the biggest problems were. And her dreams were saying, cut the ties with your mom. And she then asked, and I think I gave you the question, should I cut the ties with my dad now? And that's a question she sent in to you, Heidi.
I remember channeling on this. It was not right now because this is the time for her to heal. She just finished cutting the ties with her mother, and this is a very healing time. Her physical health will piggyback on her mental health healing as well, and so she needs to give herself some time before she starts cutting the ties with her father. A long time.
Yeah, months. Absolutely.
Yeah, like I wouldn't. I'm hearing not before September anyway, and then ask again. You can always write into the show, and this is can we name her so she knows who we're talking about or no?
She'll know who she is.
Okay.
It begins with J.
Just send in another question to the show, and we'll ask again, or just even shoot me an email. She has my email. So.
And the other thing we've seen this again. before where somebody had a serious illness and they're told, don't cut the ties, it's not appropriate. Because cutting the ties will actually dip your energy for a period of time. And I think that dip is really where the danger is. That you need need to use all your energy to fight the illness that you're working on. And in her case, that's what she's doing. But let's finish on a couple of positives with her. She sent in this dream on the 11th, so a few days ago. She said, I dreamed there were 2 mice and one of my cats chased one that ran around a corner. My other cat didn't chase the second mouse, so I dragged it on a leash and told it, you're doing this job, you're getting that mouse. And I thought that was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Because, again, the mouse is about the cancer, is a symbol for the cancer. And the cat's chasing the mice, or the cat symbolized in this dream, her immune system fighting off cancers. Because we all develop cancers at various times in our life. But our immune system is primed to spot cancer cells and kill them. So it's absolutely harmless to see dreams in your lifetime where cancer symbols come up. So that's why one of the reasons we don't do them on the show is because everybody's going to have cancer dreams from time to time, and it's not a concern because an immune system is going to work on it. So when you see this dream and you see the cats going after it, that's perfect. But however, one cat isn't going after it. So this is saying her immune system is still somewhat reluctant or still somewhat repressed, which is really what causes the condition to manifest in the first place. It's a mental attitude. But here she's now adopted the attitude of, I'm fighting this and I'm going to win this battle. And that's exactly what you want to see in a dream. So from this, you can say everything is perfect now for this dreamer. Her immune system is fighting it and she's fighting it, and it's not sticking around. So anything to add to that?
No, just as you were reading it, I was getting a really good feeling.
Okay. And let's finish with another positive for this dreamer, completely different one. She still has dreams about her life purpose, and that's really good. And that's what I said at the start. We have dreams about our health because we need to stay healthy to achieve our life purpose. And if we're not working on our life purpose and we become ill, your higher self can say, well, maybe there's no point in getting better from this. Maybe it is time to come home because you're not doing what you're here for in the first place. Now, quite often we have many threads to life that we're working on, so it is still fine to be here. And we can learn a lot about getting an illness and fighting it, even if we don't survive. People's attitudes very much change. Their whole philosophy of life changes enormously when they get an illness that takes time to take you off the planet. Very hard to watch people in that space. And usually the people in that space are very much stronger than the people helping them. At least they get to that point of strength.
And I've seen that even with my own family members. They helped the other person reconcile that they were going to leave.
Yes, yeah, I've seen it too. And you worked in an old folks' home. This has been your field for a long time.
Yes.
Where many of the patients, people go there to die, basically. They go there to have a level of independence and support in their final years. And I can't imagine doing that. Yet I've had dreams that say, I'm going to work with terminally ill people. But it is hard to look at people.
I didn't find it difficult being around the people that were dying or on the last days. What I did find difficult was the level of control that, in the medical field, you can't talk about anything spiritual, even though, I worked with nuns and we weren't allowed to talk about anything spiritual. So I found it very ironic that in their last days that we couldn't do that, but I did help in whatever way I could.
Yeah. So the place you were working in wasn't part of a convent. It was that nuns from a convent were all there as well.
There, yeah.
So anyway, she sent in the stream. She said, I dreamt of a pencil in a baby's mouth. And that seems like, oh my gosh, too short. What could you get out of that? And it's about her writing ability. She has an ability to write, and this is her way of expressing herself. That's what it being in the mouth is about. But why a pencil? A pen would be perfect because a pen is about a writing ability. And a pencil, I asked her, have you been writing and do you keep changing what you've written? And she said, oh yes, I'm writing a book about parenting for the last 10 years, but I keep improving it. And I thought, okay, that's why it's a pencil.
And that's why it's a baby too, because of the parenting book?
Yeah, isn't it great? And of course, the baby says it's your responsibility to develop and use this ability. But anyway, now she has a renewed vigor for things, and she says she's going to finish this. So that's great. So I said, we'll buy the book, and then I will know all the things I did wrong with my children, because it's too late for me. Okay, we're going to take a break now and we will be back with you in a moment. Hi, I'm Michael Sheridan and I'm here to tell you about my new book. In 1990, I had a spontaneous awakening and the veil between the physical world and the spirit world was lifted for me. I didn't believe in the spirit world, but that no longer mattered. I was looking at it. My new site didn't give me answers, but it opened my mind enough to begin asking questions. It would ultimately lead me to discover that the spirit world is always involved in everything we do. My book reveals what I learned about the spirit world as I stumbled through my journey, and is titled My Journey to Awakening, and is now available on Amazon for Kindle and in paperback. My Journey to Awakening by Michael Sheridan.
Hello, this is Heidi. How can I help you?
You tell me. You're the psychic.
That's not how it works. I am a medium. I connect to your spirit guides and loved ones and pass on their messages to you.
So why did I call? Use the force, Heidi.
Look, I can get answers to any questions you ask. That's not a problem. They can be about anything: relationships, career, children, finances, anything.
Anything? Okay. What's my favourite colour?
Dave, your mom says you're being childish.
For readings with Heidi, go to angelsontheline.com.
How clear is your vision for your life? Are you living on purpose, bringing your dreams to reality? I can help you to hear the quiet voice of your heart, guiding you in the right direction. I'm Susan Pullen with True Radiance Healing Arts. Let's talk about how you can create the life you want and be the person you were born to be. Contact me today at true-radiance.com.
There's nothing else like it on the dial. Alternative Talk, 1150 AM.
Welcome back to So You Think You're Awake. Give us a call on 425-373-5527 if you have a question for me to ask your guides, or if you have a dream you want analysed. We're covering health dreams, and we were just talking there about cancer warnings and rats and mice in your dream.
And we're going to have another one here, and this is from somebody that you helped with as well. And this is from Jim. And a while ago, we had his dreams on the show. He gave permission, and in his dreams, he had a death wish. And I was saying, okay, that's a really, really bad thing. Way more than, so we have all the other dreams, and we have symbols of cancer and other health issues. And you're not so concerned because you see the person still fighting them, like in that the cats in that other dream. But with a death wish dream, it's like, I've given up, and I've basically told my immune system, whatever comes at me, do nothing about it. And your immune system will follow that once given that instruction. So anyway, he's turned around now because he reached out. We got through to him. And then it really took you talking to him and channeling his mom, actually, who passed a number of years ago, to really make an impact on him. And her strong message was that it isn't his time. Isn't that correct?
Yes, that was the message from not just her, but his guides also. But his mom was the one that came through the strongest with that message, saying she didn't want him to pass now, but she will help him, but she doesn't want.
Yeah.
So it was knowing that he had the help. He's done a complete turnaround. And
he sent in a series of dreams since then. So before that, all his dreams were terrible. And they were all about cancer of the colon and saying, look, you have it. You need to do something about it. And he has now. He's gone to the doctors and done blood work and all that. But it really, what you see, the change in his dreams is fantastic. And the last one he sent in just the other day, he says, I'm in a room. It's a tiled floor. It's tiled floor to ceiling with white tiles. There are what looks like butcher's blocks, 4 of them. The door is open and there is about 2 inches of clear water on the floor. The sun is streaming in through the door and windows, and the place is gleaming and glinting really bright white. I'm sweeping the water out the door. Everything is absolutely spotless. And this is a really good dream because it's about, because the floor is the emphasis, we know it's about his colon. I mean, we would expect that with him. We know it is. But here, his other dreams were terrible. And I'm going to do another dream that isn't as bad, but it shows how the colon usually shows up in dreams. So this is where everything's been cleared. But the butcher blocks, and numbers is our thing. So 4 butcher blocks is saying meat is a limitation for this person still. So he needs to not eat meat. And in fact, before he even sent me this dream, you got that in the reading for him as well, that he needs to cut down on meat. Now, gas horror, it's not about cut out meat forever. It's you can't eat it right now.
Until you've healed your colon and your digestive system.
And nutritionists and doctors that care will tell you that vegetables are healers for your body. So eating a diet that is rich in vegetables is really, really good for you to help you recuperate. But so what else have we got? The all white floor and the tiles being square as well, just pointing out the numbers of again, so it's all fours, is saying that his critical nature, excuse me, his critical nature is limiting. So he needs to go easy on himself.
And his issues were with the colon. So the dreams that were scary that were sent in were about the colon. So to see this and to see the colon being cleaned up is amazing for him. Because it's only such a short time ago that he did have these cancer warning dreams.
Absolutely. And him taking part in the process, just like the last dreamer, Jay, that she was forcing the cat to do its work. He is the one cleaning
exactly
the
and
floor here.
That's one thing that sometimes it's hard to get the message across. Is it's not enough to just want to be healthy. You have to act like you care.
Yes,
you do.
Yeah. Or you're very much involved in the process. And the sun in this dream the sun is a healing symbol. So this dreamer is using his own healing ability, which he probably doesn't use in reality, but using his own healing ability in his dreams to heal himself. And so that's what the sun streaming in is about. So it's not only that he's would have been blocking his immune system, he was also blocking his own healing ability too. So attacking himself in two different ways. So now we've got that fixed. Anyway, so let's have a look at another dream, moving on to slightly different things. Lisa asks a question. She says, I notice many dreams talk about the need to cut ties from childhood, and that's absolutely true. And we have shows about cutting the ties in the archive. I like the process cutting the ties that bind because you can do it on your own. You don't need to go to a therapist. You don't need to go to a counsellor. And it'll work at any age. So if you have issues that come from childhood, any therapist who's dealing with an issue, say you pick up an issue at the age 5, whatever therapy they use on you has to also work on a 5-year-old because they're trying to get through to the 5-year-old you. And that's really important to know. But therapists do know this. Counsellors do know this. But cutting the ties is something you can use yourself, but it uses symbolic language that your subconscious reacts to, and it works at any age, and that's why I like it. I will like it because you can do it on your own and you can do it for free. And we have lots of people who listen to the show who have listened to their dreams and then cut the ties, and they ask for advice from time to time about it, and that's fantastic to see. In fact, we get lots of really positive emails from people about the show. In fact, telling us that it's changed their lives, and we really thank you for that. It's really good. It's very humbling to read those emails. We don't cover them on the show because we're doing the dreams, but we do appreciate it. We do appreciate it when people take the time. So anyway, she said, could you talk about the different ways to cut the ties? Well, okay. The way I talk about it and the way I have on my website is one where you're using 2 circles on the ground. You're standing in one circle. The person you're cutting the ties with is in the other circle. And this has got to be a parent. It can be, sometimes it can be a former life, or it can be a particular thing in childhood. We had Sherry ask us about, can she cut the ties with a religion, because she was raised in a Jesuit family, I think it is. We'll check that. We might have her question here. And the answer is yes, you can. So you use symbols for those things to help you cut the ties. They will be in the other circle where the parent would be. And you move a blue neon light around your circle, going around behind you to your left, coming out from behind you to your right, then going around your parent's circle in a clockwise direction, back into yours, going anti-clockwise. And you just do that for 2 minutes. You do it in a kind of meditative state. That's how it works. You're telling your subconscious, this is what I want to deal with. And the circles are a symbol of love and protection, a universal symbol. So they're telling your subconscious that you want to bring up the issues with this person in a very loving way. So you're not going to look at the positive things that they did and throw them out as well. You're just dealing with the negatives. But anyway, we have it described very well in a previous show, archive show. You can look them up on dream-analysis.com/kknw. You'll get links to the archives. They're on SoundCloud and they're on YouTube. But there is another method that Susan does where she will work with your guides and do healing on you. And she does that in either a 1 or a 2-step process. And they're both effective. They both work. And we have somebody who's given me permission to look at her dreams, working with the system that Susan does. And we will cover some of those dreams too, maybe today even. But yeah, there are many techniques. The other one is go to a counsellor. And that's specifically what Lisa asks. Could you get a counsellor on the show to explore the different techniques? I would love to. The problem is, having moved to Seattle, since moving to Seattle, I don't know any counsellors that I would recommend yet, just because I haven't come across a lot of counsellors to be able to pick out the really, really good ones. And I have come across counsellors that I wouldn't recommend to people. Mm-hmm. Just because you have a degree doesn't mean you're going to be a good counsellor. So the best thing to do is to find somebody that is highly recommended by somebody you know and trust, who has used that counsellor for similar things that you want to work with. Because absolutely, yes, you can do this through counselling. Really, you can. You really can't beat a good counsellor. You really can't.
And for you, Lisa, the guides say that trust your intuition as well. Don't just go to somebody because you think, oh, okay, this is what I have to do. You have to trust your intuition, whether this person is going to work for you or not.
So if there are any counsellors listening out there, feel free to write to me, Michael at dream-analysis.com. And maybe we will have somebody on the show, because I would love to. And in Ireland, of course, I knew lots of counsellors, and I would send people to different counsellors based on whatever came up in their dreams. And not everybody needs counselling, but if you did, some people are fantastic at relationship counselling. Some people are fantastic at dealing with issues that come up in childhood. And, counsellors are good at particular things.
And speaking of Ireland, we have a caller from Dublin, Ireland. Is that Mariana?
We do. So, Mariana, hello.
Oh, hello. Hi.
How are you doing? I'm not sure if I have one of your dreams lined up for the show today. I have them with me, but you have a dream, it says here.
I do actually. Yeah. Well,
go ahead.
Yeah. So it's kind of a 3-part one. So it's I was in the barn.
Okay.
And it was I was with my cousin Katarina, who was burning a small pile of straw. And I ran towards her and I said, careful, it will spread, to the whole barn. And in fact, it did spread to the main part. There were 2 little fires, but I found some blankets. And I put the fire out. And when I was holding the blanket down, I thought that it won't work. But to my surprise, it actually did. It didn't rekindle.
All right.
Yeah, and then the second part, will I tell you this one now? Because
sure.
I think it's connected. Yeah. So then I found myself in some student dormitory. I was with some group, but then I ran from that one building to another because I needed to go to the toilet. And when I found one room, I was surprised that there was a toilet there. But because the student rooms usually only have the wash basins. The toilet bowl was covered with some newspaper and books, and when I opened the lid, it was completely dry inside. So I don't think there was no water there, so I didn't use it actually in my dream.
Okay, so they're the same. There's the same. Both dreams are about your elimination system, the colon in particular. That's what the barn is always going to be about, and the straw. And so, with that being said, and the second dream then about you did find a toilet, but it's dry. So again, showing a problem with the colon, and I'm going to pass it over to Heidi here.
Just having difficulty absorbing water is your issue. Are you having kidney trouble right now that you're aware of?
I don't actually have another kidneys. I don't think so.
Are you having? So you've nothing with the kidneys that you're aware of? Because I'm seeing that it's because of your kidneys that you're not absorbing water correctly, or it's eliminating too much water.
Eliminating too much water. Okay. Yeah, there was another part to that same dream. I have, I don't know, this one, will I just quickly, there's
sure.
a 2 line for this as well. Yeah. So my partner's car was so clean, and it in reality it's actually not, so that's why I was so amazed. And all the seats and carpets were, hoovered up. But he was putting a fig tree out temporarily.
A what?
And then he also had a bear skin, which was, I remember thinking it was funny, a bear skin kind of rug. And he was upset that somebody changed its usual position. And I think it was the friend he was borrowing the car to.
Okay.
So that was.
Did you
all
say
in
he
one
was
night.
he was putting a cigarette out?
No. It was a bear skin, kind of like a rug.
No, but before that, I thought. Okay.
Oh, a fig tree.
A fig tree?
Yeah, a little fig tree. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, the bear. It's kind of funny. You could look up my dictionary on the website or in my book, and I have the colon listed for bear, barn, straw, and toilets. Obviously, especially if it's a toilet bowl, which you're talking about in your dream. So you've got all the symbols in the same, 3 different dreams. So they're all a continuation of the same thing. And so it's saying you need to do something to cleanse your elimination system, just because that's what your partner does in the dream. And that really stands out because you said, okay, his car is never that way. So it's showing that this is what you need to do. And I would go with what Heidi's saying, water, absolutely water, because you said the toilet bowl was dry, and in the second one there's a fire starting. So this is going to be like discomfort in that area, but it's because of a hydration issue. So
you're dehydrated and
yeah.
your colon isn't digesting food properly.
Very
It's
easy to
suffering.
solve. Just drink electrolytes.
Do you drink enough water, or do you find that you drink and tea doesn't count?
Yeah, if you're in
Tea
Ireland,
doesn't,
you're in
sorry.
trouble there.
So water on its
I am.
own.
Water, and I'm trying actually to get the without the fluoride in. So
Yeah.
I'm trying actually to swap to the cleaner water. So and I'm drinking a lot of nettle tea and this kind of herbal teas, which I always kind of like. I completely switched, from the tea with milk, because milk, I think one of my dreams it
Yeah.
showed, and Michael, I think you were telling me.
Yeah.
That this wasn't good. So so I'm not.
So water
so
in
I was
tea
kind of-
doesn't count, is what your guides say. You need to drink water on its own without the tea, because the tea is going to make your kidneys flush it out immediately, and that's probably why you're not absorbing the water.
Yeah, it's a diuretic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so
The-
water on its own. Okay.
So,
thank you very
Mariana,
much.
where are you from originally? Just want to let people hear this.
Oh yeah, I'm from Slovenia, otherwise.
Okay,
Slovenia?
so Slovenia. So it's interesting. People always say, why do dreams come in symbols? They work for everybody, regardless of the country of origin, regardless of the spoken language that they speak. Dream, and I've done them for people all over the world. So dreams just work. They're a universal language that we all share. So you're calling from Ireland, but originally from Slovenia, and your dreams still follow the same symbols as everybody else's. Thanks for your call, Mariana.
Yeah, no, thank you both. Yeah, I
Okay,
did, Michael.
and
Goodbye.
we've more people on the line, but we're going to take a break, and we will come to Nadia right after the break. Hi, I'm Michael Sheridan, and I'm here to tell you about my new book. In 1990, I had a spontaneous awakening, and the veil between the physical world and the spirit world was lifted for me. I didn't believe in the spirit world, but that no longer mattered. I was looking at it. My new site didn't give me answers, but it opened my mind enough to begin asking questions. It would ultimately lead me to discover that the spirit world is always involved in everything we do. My book reveals what I learned about the spirit world as I stumbled through my journey, and is titled My Journey to Awakening, and is now available on Amazon for Kindle and in paperback. My Journey to Awakening by Michael Sheridan.
How clear is your vision for your life? Are you living on purpose, bringing your dreams to reality? I can help you to hear the quiet voice of your heart, guiding you in the right direction. I'm Susan Pullen with True Radiance Healing Arts. Let's talk about how you can create the life you want and be the person you were born to be. Contact me today at true-radiance.com.
Hello, this is Heidi. How can I help you?
You tell me. You're the psychic.
That's not how it works. I am a medium. I connect to your spirit guides and loved ones and pass on their messages to you.
So why did I call? Use the force, Heidi.
Look, I can get answers to any questions you ask. That's not a problem. They can be about anything: relationships, career, children, finances, anything.
Anything? Okay. What's my favorite color?
Dave, your mom says you're being childish.
For readings with Heidi, go to angelsontheline.ie. radioshowpodcast.com.
Independent programs, independent voices, independent ideas. Alternative Talk, 1150 AM.
Welcome back to So You Think You're Awake, the show about dreams, guidance and healing. I'm Michael Sheridan, and with me in studio is Heidi Brooke, and our phone number is 425-373-5527. And we have Nadia on the line. Nadia, thanks for holding.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for taking my call.
And I had 2 of your dreams in the list today.
Oh, well, I wonder if it's the one that I'm going to talk to you about right now.
Gold on the riverbank and Parasites in the jungle.
It is Parasites in the jungle. Good.
Well, you don't know what they mean yet. What are you saying?
No, but I'm glad that it was on your list.
So, gold on the riverbank is you say, I'm in a canoe floating down the Amazon River in South America. So this is about spiritual flow. The Amazon River is, nobody's going to tame that river. So it's about you having a flow to your spiritual work that is unique and is you. And you have lots of dreams where you're around lakes. So I'm really happy to see you've progressed to a river, because a river actually gets to the sea.
Super.
And you see 2 boxes on the riverbank. And I step off the boat into the water and walk over to the boxes. So that's good. This is about you getting into your spirituality. The 2 is about you have an ability to channel. And we know that. We've done many of your dreams before, and you do channel for people. But I said before, recently we did a dream of yours, well, probably about a month ago we did a dream of yours, and I said that there's something you need to add to the mix, and I think this dream is telling us what it is, and it's your healing ability, which has come up in your dreams before. You've had herds of horses in many dreams.
Right.
And they tend to be just standing there, which is showing that it's not going anywhere, you're not doing anything with it. But here you're doing something with it, because you walk over to the boxes, you open them up, and they're filled with gold coins. And the gold, like I said earlier in the other dream, gold is about the sun. It's the color of the sun, and it's about healing. So the gold coins represent that for you, for anybody indeed. And you take the boxes and put them into the canoe. So the boxes show that they're both a gift that you have from birth. You were born with this ability, and they're a gift, but they're also limited because it's still in the box, and a box is a limitation. And you take them into, you continue flowing down the river until you come to a hut. You bring the boat to shore and take the boxes into the hut and place them on the table. You then take a large wooden bowl and fill it with gold coins from the boxes. So the bowl is going to, because it's wooden, is going to be about your own elimination system, and the dream is trying to heal your elimination system. Now, the reason why I was going to do the other dream, an elimination system is the one thing people hate to talk about when they've been identified. And I think you might be a little bit different, Nadia, because you've shared some dreams where I've just had to go, stop. Like,
yep, I have.
Have you no sensitivity or shame? People are listening. But still, that doesn't mean that you're insensitive to this. So I'm aware of that. So now I'm switching. I'm going to come back to this dream. I'm going to switch to, so we know this one is about healing your elimination system and is good for that. Then this one you say, I'm in the jungle with a group of people and my mother is traveling with us. So the jungle is going to be about the elimination system as well. Trees, forests, they're always about the elimination system. The path is very overgrown and we have to cut our way through the brush to get through. So this is saying that you got to deal with issues with your mom to get to help heal your elimination system. And so the blockages, because we have blockages in that dream, are connected to your mom because your mom's in the dream. And then later in this dream, what do you say? You say, we're wearing all the same thing, pit helmets, white short sleeves, shirts, tan shorts, and so on. I think you're probably one of the most educated people I know, Nadia, because every time you send me a dream, I have to look something up. And I think, I speak English, but yet I don't know some of the things that you identify in your dreams. Like, I didn't know what a pit helmet was. No, I did.
The safari hat,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, but you didn't say that. But we all know what they are, and yet you're able to use the precise term. And I'm like, good gosh. Anyway, I find it humorous. So what Nadia has taken to doing is sending me a picture with every dream. And then I feel really stupid. She's going to send crayons in the mail. Here you go, moron. Anyway, so wearing all the same things. This is saying you've copied your mom. But some of it's good. The short sleeves, the tan shorts, and white socks. So a white shirt with short sleeves. So it's saying you're an explorer. That's kind of good in a way. But the short sleeve says that you don't have anything up your sleeve. So you do tend to say to people, well, this is how I am, this is how it is. And that is true for you. You are like that. And the tan shorts are about acceptance of mom. And that's hard. That's one of those things, like, it's where people say, oh, you need to let that go. And you want to punch them in the face because what does that mean, let it go? I don't even know I'm holding on to something and you're saying let it go. It's one of those things. So acceptance of mom is like, let her be the way she is, even though she has these problems. Don't try fix them in her. Just look at yourself and hope and work on the parts that you've copied and eliminate those things you've copied, because we know from the dream you've copied some stuff. Anyway, my mother and I are at the back of the group. So the back of the group is not good, but this says that you work with groups of people, and that's true, you do. You see, back of the group. But when we stop for a moment to drink some water, and I notice something on my mother's leg. It's beneath the skin, but when I touch it, it moves. I see a point of entry, and I grab some pliers and pull out a rather large parasite from my mother's leg under the skin. It had the same shape as a stingray, but when I pulled it out, it curled up into the shape of a shell. It was about the size of my hand. So the hand there as well is about your healing ability too. I threw the parasite down on the ground and squished it under my boot. Again, healing, very good. I wrapped some gauze around the wound on my mom's leg and asked her if she was okay to continue walking, and she said yes. So it finishes great. So this dream is about your elimination system. You've picked up a bug very clearly.
Were you eating shellfish recently?
Was I eating? Well, probably, yeah, within the last month.
Yeah, it was from the
probably.
shellfish.
Okay. Gotcha.
Have you healed from this, or are you calling us from the middle cubicle in
In the hospital?
in the emergency ward?
No, I'm not calling from the emergency ward.
Okay, so, a lot of the times we have health dreams. There's nothing serious in this dream, and I was going to include it because I was saying I wanted to include a dream about the colon to show what can show up. So normally we see blockages like this, no big issue, because in this dream you're cutting away. So the cutting, of course, is saying your mom is cutting, so your mom can sort of be that way too.
Definitely.
And so these are the things that you got to watch that you didn't copy, and the ones that you didn't copy, are you still affected by them today? And a lot of us say, oh, I'm not affected anymore because I do the opposite, but that's still affected. So anyway, that's what you got to look at. I'm speeding up because we have another caller that's been hanging on. Anyway, so that's what that is. Do you get anything else on that? I mean, you got it.
Just the shellfish compromises your immune system, so I would avoid shellfish completely.
Okay.
And so interesting, though, it connects that blockage, the problem there, to the issues with your mom. So health issues, dreams will always link them to somebody, and almost always link them to somebody. So work on the issues with your mom, and that will improve that side of your health. Now, the next dream, going back to the previous dream really quick, once the bowl is full of gold coins, there's still gold left in the boxes. I take the gold filled bowl and walk to the center of the village. There's a festival going on. I walk up to the altar at the center of the celebration and place the bowl on the altar. So you say they're gold coins. This is about change, and the altar is also about change, or that's what it means, changing energy. That's what the altar does, this altar stone. And you place the bowl on the altar. Then you turn the people and take the gold from the bowl and throw it into the crowd. When the bowl is empty, you bring it back to the hut. Anyway, so it's saying you need to bring your healing ability to people. That's what you need to do. That's going to help you heal yourself too. Spread your healing gift, really, is
that's your
the
goal.
way to look at it. Yeah. So that's what you need to add to your spiritual repertoire. And then you won't be in lakes anymore swimming with orcas and all that stuff.
I did cut the ties with my mom. So my question is do I need to go through another session of cutting the ties, or is this a different issue, like when you're talking about dealing with issues with mom?
No, this is just reminding you that you still have lingering health issues because of all that stuff with your mom.
Gotcha.
So you have to, healing the mind and healing the body, they do react to each other, but you still have a lot of healing the body to do.
Gotcha.
And
all right.
if you've cut the ties with your mom before and you've done it well, only if you've done it well, then absolutely you can have to cut the ties with her again, many times, up to 7 at the most. But the next time, it's never as difficult. It's never as difficult, and it might even just take 2 or 3 days. So you don't have to head into it going, oh my gosh, I've got to go through all this again. It's never the same. So thank
you so much for your time.
Thanks for your call, and it was perfect, couldn't it? Because I had these dreams here.
Thank you.
So we have
thank you.
We have
Bye-bye.
Sandra on the line. Thanks for holding on, Sandra. Hi, Sandra. Are you there?
Yes.
Thanks for holding. Sorry for the delay. You have
That's all right.
a dream and a question for your guides.
Well, it's actually a combination of both. In the last 2 years, I've seen a lot of combinations of the number 1 and 4, like 411 or 11, like 114 or things like that, or 441. And in the last month, it has started appearing in my dreams.
Again? Oh,
Yeah.
so you've seen it in physical reality and noted it?
I see it in physical reality, and now it's started to come into my dreams, and I get the feeling that I'm just not getting the message.
The message is, and your guides are coming in really strong, is that you are limiting your individuality.
Wow, perfect. Because that's what 411 means.
But I'm asking what's it to do around, and it's to do around your sexual expression.
Okay.
Sorry, that's what that's about.
It's okay.
But like, if you want to, you can write to me off air, and I'll go in further than that. I'm sure you don't want me to delve into that on air.
It's okay. It's just I'm not surprised, but I thought that I thought the combination of numbers would have something to do with either my professional life or with my daughter.
It could have, I mean, very possibly in dreams, the numbers can be about anything, but your guides are specifically saying that you're having those dreams with those numbers because of your expression. And
what you're limiting, so you're limiting your individuality, but you're also limiting your channeling ability. We did a dream of yours a few weeks ago. I'm remembering it now because it had lots of numbers, and you woke up with the TV on in the dream. Was that you?
Yes, that was me.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I think the last 2 or 3 weeks I've been doing evaluations during the time that you do the show.
Okay, well, I'll send you.
So I wasn't able to listen to it, and I tried to go back on YouTube, but yeah, okay.
I'll send you a link to that particular one.
Okay, great.
Because it's saying you're limiting your channeling ability, you're clairvoyant, and you do have that ability. But 4 is about limitation, and 1 is individuality, like Heidi said. So the guides are saying exactly what the numbers mean in dreams, which is great. So you're limiting yourself. So you may be doing something, but you're not doing it your way. And that's really what's important. You got to do it your way, not the way somebody else tells you or the way you think you need to do it because you see somebody else doing it a different way. It's your way. Your way is the unique way, and that's the way that's going to make sense to you, and that's the way you're going to grow. It's like, am I doing it like such and such? You're not even meant to try. Do it your way.
No, it actually makes sense, but I am definitely going to write to you, Heidi.
Okay.
All right.
I'll look forward to it. Thank you.
Just to follow it up.
Okay. So thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the call, Sandra.
Thank you.
All right.
And so, Michael, we're talking about doing the numbers 7 to 10.
Yes.
So do you have that
I
there?
do. I'm going to do it really fast. 7 always indicates, so we've been doing numbers over a number of weeks, so this is finishing it off. 7 always indicates spiritual enlightenment. Your spiritual center is your 7th chakra, which is located at the very top of your head. A dream where you catch the number 37 bus to church is a request to commit, which is 3, to developing your spiritual side, which is 7. And the church, of course, is your spiritual side. Paying $47 for something indicates that the dreamer is limiting, which is 4, their spiritual nature, which is 7, by not putting enough energy, which is what paying for something indicates, into developing it. 8 is the only balanced number and indicates expansion through balance of the heart. If you turn 8 on its side, you get the infinity symbol, and you can easily imagine balancing that shape on the end of your finger. It is also the symbol for infinity, which indicates limitless expansion. 8 features in dreams about the heart and circulatory system. The symbol itself is made of 2 circles, and anything circular in a dream symbolizes your circulatory system in reality. 9 is not very common in dreams and indicates that you are spiritually advanced. It is a reminder to follow your life purpose because within this lifetime, you have the potential to repay all your karma and make this your last necessary earth life. It does not mean that you cannot come back for another earth experience, rather that you do not have to. If you dream of 9, you will find yourself naturally drawn to learning about spiritual matters. And then 0 is the perfect symbol with no beginning or end. And as such in dreams, it indicates God, ideals or goals. For example, 70 would indicate spiritual ideals and 30 would indicate commitment to your goals. And the last one I'm going to do is 10. Because it's the completion of the set of numbers, it's about you completing something in your life, completing a phase in your life. So always good to see in a dream. So there you go. We did them. Heidi was panicked that we weren't going to get to them. Now, I had other dreams here, and I've even talked to people about them. So We were going to cover those, but we've run out of time. I'm looking at the time now. So I enjoyed today's show. It's something we don't normally do because it's a deep kind of subject. But we do get those dreams from people and we do deal with them offline.
So do send dreams in if you have any health things come in, like if you dream about rats or anything like that. Those are definitely dreams that you want to have analysed.
Yes. So we're going to leave it at that. We're going to say thank you to our producer and engineer, Eric Ryder. Thank you to Heidi for being here. Hope you get well, Susan. And I had a quote, but I can't put my hand on it because I've moved all my pages around like I do all the time.
There's a quote then, be prepared.
See you next week. Thanks for listening.